Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Round951 here, bringing you another PS3 content video. In this video, I'm going to show you another B01 that I recently picked up, and you can see this one's kind of battle scarred. It's got the part of the bottom trim missing, just must have fell and cracked, and even right here next to the power button, part of that shell cracked. Pretty decent condition. Again, the B01 is a backwards compatible PS3. This is one of the two launch models of the PS3, along with the A01. And this one, I like this one just for the trim. You can see it's got all piano black trim, looks really clean. So yeah, what I did was, you see it still had the warranty sticker, and I just took it off. And then once I took off the warranty sticker, I got inside this thing so I could start doing some preventative maintenance. I basically cleaned out all the dust. I replaced the thermal paste because, of course, after 5 years, with the way these things heat up, the paste is already pretty much done. You can see how it's now voided warranty, of course, 12 years later. And once we get into the PS3, you can see how much dust is on there, on the heat shield, on the power supply, and all these small little boards and stuff. And you start getting more into it. This is the bottom part of the PS3 shell. You can see this is where most of the air comes in. It enters these little vents, but after a while these vents get clogged, and then you just don't have any air coming in, and it's hard for the hot air to escape as well when these things are clogged. So it's just a real mess. But of course I cleaned that up, vacuumed it out, cleaned it really well. Here's the fan. There's a lot of dust on the fan blades, and a lot of dust just everywhere here as well, looking real nasty. And then we get to the nitty gritty. So here's the motherboard that has all the good stuff. See how dusty it is. And surprisingly, the thermal pads were in pretty good shape for the age, of course. And all this yellow stuff is just thermal flux that Sony used when soldering all these components. And you really want to be careful when cleaning anytime you're cleaning these boards, because you can knock off these components really easily, and that could easily cause you to make your PS3 a 20-pound paperweight, and now you have a PS3 with yellow light of death. So be careful when cleaning that. Let's see here. Alright, so yeah, this is the heat sink, and these are the heat sink clamps. These go over the chips, both the RSX and the cell broadband engine, and you can see how bad the thermal paste has gotten. Of course, after 5 years, that's usually the lifespan of most thermal paste, and of course this is 12, and Sony really didn't use a good thermal paste at all. It's just really kind of crap, not really good quality. You can really see it really shows on the I'm not sure what chip this is, but you can see it really shows pretty bad on the internal heat sink, and you can see it's like even some kind of burn marks at the edge, like some black burnt something going on. Maybe the dust got burnt. You can see it shows here too, and you see how bad the thermal paste got. And there's also thermal paste under these plates, and unfortunately I wasn't able to replace that because I don't have the skill set or tools to really get under that internal heat spreader. So that's going to be something eventually I have to do, whether I do it or somebody else does. And so, like I said, you see how the thermal paste looks above the heat spreader. You can only imagine how it looks under the heat spreader, since how hot those chips get. And of course I cleaned up those chips, and as a kind of like a temporary solution, I repasted them. When you do delid them and replace the paste under them, you of course do have to repaste them above as well. But since I don't have again the skill set or tools to really get these heat spreaders removed, I just did like kind of a temporary band-aid fix to sort of help with that heat transfer still. And yeah, so I do want to give you guys a tip. If you're gonna disassemble an A or B01, I would recommend keeping that ribbon cable on the whole time. Just remove the Blu-ray drive, because these, especially on the A or B, these are real prone to breaking. On the later E01, there's a little clamp that allows you to remove this ribbon cable, but it seems like on these ones it's not present. So yeah, guys. What's up, everybody? It's the Random Name 951. I'm here to bring you a little update on my backwards compatible. Well, actually, I never made a video about this. So I picked up another CECHB01. Pretty cool. Came with 2 controllers, HDMI. Came with everything basically, and I was happy it came with 2 controllers for $40, guys. $40. It's missing some of the stuff because I opened it up today to clean out all the dust, to renew the paste. I'm not very confident at all in my delitting skills, so I did not attempt to delit it. I already have killed one E01 in the past, so I'm not ready to do it again. It's mostly just on my skills and also not having the correct tools to get under that cell CPU correctly. I just want to show you guys this little cool intro. This is the PS2 3.0 startup disk for the internet. And it's very cool vibes. It's kind of like a reminiscence of like something like the 360, something you see on the 360. CIP, ISP. I remember when I was on a little trip, I tried setting this up once on my PlayStation 2 Slim. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, the whole thing, I took it apart because there's a couple issues. One of the larger ones was that the disk drive was not ejecting games. I believe the system's seen a lot of, I guess, abuse. You can see here it's cracked, and that's most likely that it was in a vertical stance. And at some point it fell real hard on some hard surface like this, like wood or some sort of a, granite, and this messed up. And also partially inside on the heat sink, the really big heat sink that keeps these monsters cool, it got bent, and it even looks like possibly the disk drive got bent too. You can see there's a bit of a gap there, like it dips in. So I'm not sure. I haven't put it all back together because I was gonna have to take this back apart so I could put the trim back on and put this little cover back on and all that good stuff. So you can see there it's playing the PlayStation 2 games. Technically that is a PlayStation 2 game. Just to show you what it looks like, this is the online startup V3.0, and it's an original blue CD-ROM versus the DVD that most PlayStation 2 games were on at that time. Of course, we get to the PS3 and we get the oh so great almost see-through Blu-ray. So we're gonna put that in. That was Ghost. That was the game that, oh yeah, Ghost also came with this game, but it's not really an expensive game, but it is a nice kind of bundle. I got the 2 controllers. This is an original 6-axis, so I believe this might have been the controller that came with it. And then it came with a DualShock 3, and I'm pretty sure this is original Sony. It's really clean. The buttons have that shine to them. They're not matte, so like a matte kind of color. I'm pretty sure that's original PlayStation. And the only thing I really need to do is I'm gonna put this on custom firmware and get it to where I have webman working, so the fans are gonna work great on this and keep it as cool as possible. And maybe later down the line start making some holes for better air intake and airflow. Yeah, I could feel the hot air coming out, which is good, meaning the thermal paste is working. It is doing its job like it should be. And that's the thing, these original launch models, the A, B, and even the E, not really the E, they still get hot, but the A and B get super hot. I was even checking the Emotion Engine chip that these A and B are proprietary to have. I believe it has the Emotion Engine as well as the graphics synthesizer. I think it's just the Emotion Engine chip, and then the later revision of the E01 got only the graphics synthesizer. But that chip even got real hot. There's like kind of some scalding marks. But yeah, I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. I'm going to put this all back together so it looks sexy again with this black trim, and just, you know, put everything back in its place. So I'll be back in a little while, guys. See you in a bit. Alright guys, so I'm back. I reassembled it, and you can see now it has the OG black trim back on it. You see, it looks like it's chrome, but it's actually black. Put everything back on. I still got those dusty USB ports, so I'm probably gonna have to buy canned air again, unfortunately. But yeah, I bolted everything on, so this part's not gonna come off, and you see the seal is broken. I'm probably gonna have to open it back up just because I want to get whatever that crud is off the UMD, I guess, this little flap protector. But now the disc should eject without issue. I might have to move it down a little bit because you can see how that is. Hopefully there won't be any too much resistance, but let's check it out right now. You see we have both chargers charging right now. Alright, let's go to game. Don't see anything in the game. Oh yeah, because the game isn't in there. I forgot I took it out. Oh yeah, I forgot I took out Ghost, but we're gonna use that one because I cleaned that one somewhat, and gonna use it as the test dummy. So seems to go in just fine. I'm gonna let it spin up so it can read the disc. And hope you guys like my new setup. I finally got around, you know, my lazy butt having just a way too crowded setup. So everything's in a container just to keep dust free from it, and keep them nice and clean, all my crap. Alright, so let's see if it works. Oh, sick. Okay, perfect. It seemed like it lagged a little bit when coming out, but see, when I bought this, like I said, I just opened it today and I gave it a good cleaning. I bought it yesterday, but I was real busy yesterday. So I opened it up, I repasted it. I didn't get under the internal heat spreaders because I'm not really skilled in delidding. I'm very new to it still, so I need the right tools, and I need to practice on a console that's a little bit more disposable, such as a CECHB01 or something that's a fat PS3 but non-backwards compatible. Alright, gonna just see if I could eject it right now. Put remove disk. Yeah, alright, so it's working now, which is great. Kind of had me worried because didn't seem like it would work. I'm just gonna do it one more time just to just to make sure. Yeah, I think what happened was this thing took a real bad fall, and you can see it cracked here, it chipped a bit. Most of the console is actually intact pretty well. I have a couple consoles where like they've I have one it's an E01 and it fell on the back and this whole part just cracked. And it works surprisingly, even the disk drive works, but you know, sometimes they just don't look too good. The only thing is, see here. Okay, it is working. Usually I thought like when you press it, it makes a beep on the eject when a disk is inside it. So yeah, and probably later on today, not today, later on tomorrow, I'm gonna get some custom firmware on it so I can run the what's it called, I think it's the webman or something, so I could monitor the temperatures and control the fan speed without having to do any hardware mods. It's all software. And this is mostly just going to be something like I could play all my games on. I'm not going to really do online with this because I have a PS3 Slim I could do online with. So it's going to be just like the all-in-one PS3 2-in-1, just play my games and have them in here. Yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be doing more, and I'll do an update with how it's running. And eventually, like all PS3s, they have to be deleted because you saw in the pictures the paste was already getting old, and you can imagine how the paste is under those internal heat spreaders. It's probably already going too. So we'll just leave it at that. Until next time, guys. Deuces.